Head, hosted by Neil, Ireland's version of the Octomom. Except he's a dude, and has cats.
You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, number 608 for Wednesday. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. We've got topics coming out of this little green child's picnic cup. Which I filled up with beer. And drinking beer out of a picnic cup is absolutely fucking fantastic. Rather a pint glass, to be perfectly honest. For all my pint glasses are downstairs, and I'm upstairs. I'm not prepared to go downstairs just in order to abide by the so-called unwritten laws of beverage container usage. No, I'll drink out of this little child's plastic doll's house teacup if I want, even if I don't want, which I don't, I suppose. Although now that you mentioned it, I'm quite enjoying it. It feels like I'm doing shots of beer. You foreigners like doing that. You Americans, you're always going on about you're doing shots. You go, let's do shots. And then you say, 1, 2, 3, go. And then you cheer and you say, oh, look at me, I took a sip of an alcoholic beverage. I'm mad. I'm a mad lunatic. I'm a mad, bad and crazy, as Steve Martin used to say. I'm a mad and bad and crazy lunatic guy. I've got grey hair before my time and I'm on Saturday Night Live. Although it's mostly reruns from as far as I can see. It's Saturday Night rerun as far as I'm concerned. Although the first time it goes on, it's legitimate to point out that it's not a rerun. But then when they rerun that, it's going to sound pretty stupid. You'll have some fella coming on and saying, hello, this is not a rerun unless this is the rerun. In which case, please disregard what I'm saying at the moment, although not this part, because this part makes sense. I suppose they could record a couple of different versions. They could do a live rerun. They could say, hello and welcome to the live rerun of Saturday Night Live. This rerun is going out live on a Saturday night too, but the original programme around which this shell of an introduction is based has already been recorded on the Saturday night. Although what would be the point of it? You can go too far with these things. People get too up in their arse about these things. They say, oh, that's a rerun. That's a programme that's been broadcast before. I expect as a licence fee taxpayer to be able to watch brand new programmes 24 hours a day, 365 days a week on 8 different TVs in front of me and have 8 different new programs at any one time. Otherwise, I'm not getting value for my buck. That's what you say. You say, bang for my buck. You of my Americans are funny like that. You don't even have a TV license fee. You can just go out and buy a television without having to go down to your post office and get a frigging license. No, you license guns, but you don't license televisions, and then you put these programs on to have people with guns on them, and you say, here's a program about a gun, you're allowed to watch this, although we recommend that you don't take heed of it. We don't want you watching these programs and going out with guns. A fella went out with a gun in America this week. It was tragic. So I'll skirt around that issue and not go too far down the gun issue, the gun topic issue for today, because that could prove controversial, and as a member of the media, I don't want to immerse myself in controversy for no reason. Once something is in the news, it's controversial to speak about it, so I won't speak about it. I'll speak about something. What will I speak about? I'll speak about this bottle here. There was some comments recently from listeners concerned about the hollowness of some of my bottles here. I was assumed that the bottle I was rattling last week was my caffeine pill bottle. It wasn't. It was one of my vitamin bottles. This, for example, vitamin A palmitate 15,000 IU. That's basically enough vitamin A to make a horse be able to see from here to the moon if it needed to. It's the maximum vitamin A that you pump in to keep your eyes alive for an extra 10% longer. Get 10% extra vision life from this, according to the scientists anyway. That's the best they could come up with. You go into your eye doctor and he says, hello, I see your eyes are crap. I haven't really got much I can do for you except come in here once a year and we'll poke needles into your eyes for 3 hours and I'll tell you to get these vitamins that you can only get abroad on the internet. One of these days, I don't know, something will happen and then you'll have a podcast and you'll be running out of things to say because it'll be the week of the Batman shootings and you'll be looking for trying to divert yourself away from controversy, so you'll grab your pills off the pill jar, like the pill window. I have a pill window. It's in the front of my house. It's rather public now that I think about it. I've got all my vitamins and pills on display on the front window of my house because I'm not ashamed of them. I've got nothing to hide. Although now that I think about it, is it illegal to import vitamin A palmitate? Well, if it is, I've a good excuse. The national health doctor employed by this government in a public hospital told me to. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Judiciary system. You probably do. You probably smoke. You probably smoke things. There's probably people smoking things out of their arses now. And the next generation, every time the next generation comes out, they have to come up with something new to shock their parents. So they're probably smoking things through their arses and other orifices now. They've had enough with the bongs and the marijuana donuts and they've probably got a marijuana. What's that thing? You know that thing, that type of medicine pill that you shove up your arse. They probably have one of those as a marijuana thing now. Marijuana, what you call it? Thing. You know the thing. What you call the? Hold on, I'll look her up now. Chrome. I've moved on to Google Chrome, incidentally. Hold on. Handle medicine. What's it called? Where the fucking hell is it? Anally ingested drugs. Let's see. Plugged ecstasy. It's very hard to find. Anyway, that thing. One of those medicines that you shove up your arse. There's probably a marijuana version of that now, and the kids are doing it. They're all going out doing it. And if they see someone who's not doing it, they'll say, you've never shoved marijuana up your arse. You're probably gay. That's what they'll say. You're trying to keep yourself clean and ready for. Never mind. Anyway, there's an interesting thing on Twitter. News Talk 106 108 FM says leaked documents lift the lid on HSE, the very same HSE that I was just talking about, the health service of my country. Let's have a look at this. Let's have some topical news on today. It's a Sunday afternoon, so it can't be that topical because the government works Monday through. A leaked report which was prepared for the health blah 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 has revealed just one in blah 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 of the HSE's financial management team is fully qualified for the role. Well, I'm not fully qualified for that role either. I suppose that doesn't matter. Because for one thing, not employed by the HSE. Let's see, the group is responsible for spending the organisation's 13.7 billion euro. This is a bit newsy, if you don't mind me saying so. And I see Facebook has taken the liberty of putting a photo of me in the comment section already. With a blank box beside it for me to type my comment into. That's rather presumptive, if you don't mind me saying so. I think I'll say so. I'll put words to that effect. I'll use Facebook to comment on this newstalk.ie article. I say, hello. Why is there a picture of me with a cat on my head on this comments box already. That image is copyrighted to me and was created. Well, now this is going to get complicated because that image I'm using lately of me with the cat on my head, the photo of me was taken by a fella called Escapist from North Carolina, not North Carolina, Southern California, or wherever in California he's from, but it was taken in the Czech Republic, but the backgrounding, the Roadrunner style background, red mountain-y thing was done by Gamma Goblin, seeintoyourhead.com/chancer, but the poor quality lettering and editing thereafter was done by me in Microsoft Paint. So I suppose it's a case of several cooks spoiling the broth. But still, anyway, was that image is copyrighted to me and was created by me and my cohorts. In fact, it was created over 3 continents, or 2.5, I suppose. It was photographed in Prague, edited by what's his name in Ireland? I suppose that's only 1 continent. Well, I presume Escapist took her home with him to America and then processed it and then sent it to me. So that's 2 continents, and plus Ireland makes a half. So 2.5 continents was created by me and my cohorts over 2.5 continents, and published on my frigging website. Get your own frigging images. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, Christ. You're thinking, oh, Christ. He says, I'll just delete that now in case I accidentally post it, because I don't want to actually do this. This is all for entertainment purposes. I don't really go around posting comments on News Talk website pages about the frigging pictures of me with a cat on my head. Oh no, that would be considered trolling or vandalism. If you do that on the likes of Wikipedia, they call you a vandal. Well, if you do it anywhere, you're a vandal, as far as I'm concerned. If I wrote that now if I wrote that in the sand on my local beach, that would be an act of vandalism. You're not allowed to go around moving around the stones on beaches, you know. If you remove beach stones from a beach, that's considered stealing, you know. You're not allowed to do that, you know. You might not realise that, but you can't just go around removing things from everything, acting like they're your own. They may well be public property, but you are only one element of the public, and you have to remember you're part of the hive mind public, and you have to make decisions as a whole in the most democratic, fair way possible. And I'll tell you, you making the unilateral decision to remove pebbles from a beach is not fair. If you're one of possibly tens of thousands of people in that region who avail of that local amenity. I don't avail of my local beach because there isn't one. I suppose there's a few pebbles down beside the river there, but I wouldn't go near them. They're probably full of piss and shite. There's a public toilet right beside them. It's out of order half the time. There's also a public library. What else is there? There's some sort of a town hall. There's a convent that's due to be turned into a supermarket any decade now. There's a bridge. There's a road going over the bridge and forming part thereof. Although I hope the bridge contains more structure than just the road itself, because I can't imagine that a bit of asphalt and tarmac with stones underneath it would be enough to hold up all that traffic going over through the airspace over a river. I hope they've got some pillars or something underneath, or some steel work or something. Not to say that asphalt and tarmacadam are weak substances, but no, you wouldn't just put some tarmac through mid-air over a canyon, put a mould around it, let it dry out, and then remove the mould and just hope that it stays up forever with no structure underneath. That's all I'm saying. And hopefully the powers that be are on top of this. That's what we paid them for. That's what we paid the engineers for.
Into your head.
Hello. I accidentally clicked stop there. Don't worry though, he didn't miss anything, because I noticed my error straight away and stopped talking after I said the word engineers. Not least because I didn't know what I was going to say next. I suppose it's probably time for a commercial break. It's a break for you from the main substance of the show, but it's not a break for me because I have to keep speaking. This is a live read. It's not even a read because I'm making it up as I go along. Do you like this show when it's on top form? Not today, obviously, but a lot of the time. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good, sometimes it's mediocre. That's the nature of the art here. But if on average you enjoy the show and or appreciate its existence, you can help support it. Every time you buy anything on Amazon, instead of going straight to Amazon, go through my Amazon link at intoyourhead.com and then go through that Amazon. Buy whatever you were going to buy, same prices, no extra cost to you, but I get a commission, I get a kickback as they call it. Like on a donkey, if a donkey was running an online store of some sort, and they said, hello dog, if you go around getting me some extra customers from my online store, I'll use my hind leg to kick some of the customs money back to you. And of course then the dog will just stand behind the donkey and wait for the money to be kicked back. But of course that's just a metaphor. In real life, it's a lot more of a polished thing than that. It's all done pretty much electronically and automatically. You go through my Amazon links at intoyourhead.com, you buy all your stuff, and then it gets delivered, and then I get a thing from Amazon saying, hello, one of your listeners bought stuff from us using your link. Thank you very much indeed. Here's a commission. Here's a monetary commission which we assign to you. And that's how the business world works nowadays. It's capitalism gone mad. I could just sit here talking about donkeys and get a cut out of your purchase of the latest whatever you're buying on that. What are you buying on Amazon? Probably some crap. You're probably buying some crap on Amazon. You can buy crap on Amazon. You can buy, I've seen it myself. I've seen you can get joke shop style fake crap on Amazon. You can probably buy manure as well in some markets. I don't know. I doubt you can have it shipped over to Ireland from America. Why would you want to? You're risking bringing all sorts of diseases in. I've seen that program where they stop people at the Australian airport customs and immigration. They stop old ladies bringing in seeds and plants and fruits, and they say, you're putting our continent at risk. How dare you, madam? Here's a fine. And the woman looked shocked, and she said, I was just trying to bring in some hemp for my children to try out. I want to teach them how to stitch a hemp glove puppet cat out of hemp or wherever it is they're importing. And the fella will say, I'm going to ignore the fact that you've just admitted to importing hemp and pretend that it was as I thought it was, just some sort of straw or something innocent like that, which is what I thought it was, which is still illegal. So I'm going to be nice to you. And the woman will think then she's made a profit from the whole situation, which in a way she has, but she's still being fined for bringing in straw or whatever the fella originally thought it was, and he gets he gets something out of it because he gets to not look stupid, and we all get a bit of entertainment out of it on the television, of course. And then he realises later on that his bosses are going to look back at this on the television and realise his mistake, or his deliberate attempt to cover up his mistake, or wherever it was. And then they'll probably find the woman and reward her for accidentally hunting out their less than proper acting member of staff. Anyway, intoyourhead.com, click on the Amazon ads, on with the show.
You're listening to Into Your Head because you couldn't find anything better now, could you?
Two cats walk into a bar, not a drinks bar, as is normally the case in these stories, and you'd be forgiven, not that it's a sin, but you'd be forgiven for assuming that. But no, in this case, they're both approaching the bar, as we know it as the legal term in the law industry. They say you're being called to the bar, you're being called up to be some sort of a legal fella, a judge or something, one of those positions. They say you're being called to the bar. So anyway, these two cats walk up to the bar, and the barman, also known as the Supreme Court judge, says, hello, you weren't called here to the bar, what are you doing here? And one of the cats straight away says, where does it say that you have to be called to the bar to be able to approach it? Everyone just assumes that you have to be called to the bar. Where does it say that we can't just approach the bar and thereby automatically become members of the judiciary? And straight away the judge has to go and consult with 7 other judges on the judging board, because this is a new one on them. There's no precedent for this. The cats straight away go down in history for starting a precedent. I say straight away go down in history because, of course, time is non-linear, and all time exists at the same time. So if they go down in history, it pretty much happens at the same time as it happens. In fact, they were already down in history, if you want to think about it that way. Till time is but a linear it's but an imaginary linear construct which we add in like paragraphs and punctuation to help us understand the story. So let's not get bogged down in that though. Anyway, as a result, 2 cats become judges, and then they spend the government parliament spends the next 2 years wasting its time trying to untangle the legislative mess that has somehow led to 2 cats being able to just walk up to the bar and become judges. And meanwhile, they have a whole government department working on keeping it secret so that we don't have 8 million more cats breeding cat judges while in the time between that happening and then fixing up this legal loophole. So that has to be kept secret for a while. The 2 cats, luckily responsible members of society, they've no wish to cause trouble, and they're happy to agree to keep it secret and not tell their offspring about this loophole until it's being repaired. So luckily or unluckily, depending what way you look at it, they turn out to be the only 2 cats ever to approach the bar and become members of judiciary. In fact, as it turns out, they do a deal and they become non-acting members of judiciary. They're paid a modest salary and basically do nothing. They're basically there as fancy consultants who do nothing, which is pretty much what all cats are anyway. So there's no change there. It's not exactly rocking the universe, is it? So there's no point, no need to get worried worked up over it. No need to be all panicky in a fluster over the... how long more have we to fill here? About another 7 minutes, I'd say. Oh, Christ. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't want to have any caffeine today, because I want to frigging sleep tonight. I don't want to have any caffeine today, for reasons which are, reasons which are none of your business. So this will have to do for now. Whatever I'm doing here, not to say that there's anything wrong with it. Is there anything wrong with this? It looks fine to me. I'm looking at it here. Segment. There's a segment there that's 14 minutes and 45 seconds long, and I've just called it 1 in the software, but that's playing myself down. There's a lot more to that segment than the number 1. In fact, I don't even know whether I used the number 1 in it. We'll just call it 1 because it was convenient. And then there's a segment called Amazon, and then there's a segment which you won't have heard yet called Citroli voiceover, and then there's a little intermediate segment which you'll probably have heard already, labelled just Lockjaw saying into your head. That's in there prior to the Amazon one. So there's a rundown on what you can expect in the rest of today's show if you're approaching it in the non-linear timular thing. Basically filler, that's what it is. Why do I need to have filler if time is non-linear? Tell me that. If you're such a smart horse, why do I have to fill in this time that's why can't I just sit here for 1 millisecond and produce a half-hour show instantly? Tell me that and tell me no more. Do I have to have some sort of other capacity in me? Do I have to have enough fifth dimension width in my head, or whatever the fifth dimension measurement equivalent of width is, or do I have to have some sort of machine? I have a machine here, perfectly fine. It's a PC purchased last year. It's in perfectly good working order, although that thing that I'm tapping to indicate it's the PC, that's not the PC, that's the monitor. I said old monitor serves me perfectly well. The PC is in another room, so you can't hear it. That's the whole idea. The last thing you want to hear when I'm making a podcast here is my computer whirring and making noises in the background. At least I don't even want them in the foreground either, but in the background, it's best if things are neither in the if things are not meant to be in the foreground. It's even better if you can get them out of the background as well. Unless, of course, you're a big fancy photographer and you want to have blurry stuff in the background. But I'm not Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg was not an independent audio podcast producer. He's a fellow who he basically entertained children by stuffing a thing full of cotton wool and putting big eyes on it. Jim Henson was doing that decades ago. You're not the first fella ever to make a creature with big eyes, Steven Spielberg. Oh, look, here's an alien. There were aliens on either Sesame Street or The Muppet Show. I forget which. They had aliens who went merp, 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 and had funny heads. Admittedly, they weren't as big a blockbuster as E.T. the Extraterrestrial, but that's hardly their fault. They're inanimate objects in the end. You're the movie producer with the millions of money behind you, and you ended up putting that behind you and then going back to the black and white era with your Schindler's List. Schindler's List, my arse. How long does it take to compile a frigging list of people? I can do it right here now. Hold on a minute. Microsoft Office Word 2007. Let's make a list. We'll make a list here now. Spielberg's version of Schindler supposedly had a list. Here is a list. We'll name it first. I'll just call it list for now. And we can pick a more appropriate title later. Okay, list. Item number 1. This list. Item number 2. I suppose whatever is on this list. And Now that could be any number of items. So we'll say, we'll duplicate that down. We'll say ditto, 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 ditto for whatever number of lines we need. And then at the end we'll go item number, whatever we're up to now, end of list. There's a list for you. Schindler, of course, his list was achieved a lot more than mine, and I've no disrespect for the man. I'm not attacking Schindler at all. I'm attacking Steven Spielberg, because I can tell you, Jim Henson. If Jim Henson made a list, there was a lot more entertaining than that. You go out the count, and he said, 1, ho ho ho, 2, ho ho ho, 3, ho ho ho, or else he had a song going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although that wasn't the Muppet section of Sesame Street, that was the animation section of Sesame Street, which probably wasn't Jim Henson's direct responsibility, but nonetheless he was involved in the creation of the concept, I presume. Somewhere along the way he was associated with, indelibly associated with Sesame Street. When you hear the word Sesame Street, the first name that pops into your head is Jim Henson, and if it ever pops out of your head, may God forgive you, because I fucking well won't, I can tell you. Jim Henson made Sesame Street what it is today, and then of course they bought the rights, and they're not allowed to have Kermit on it anymore because Disney bought the rights to the Muppets. Something happened. They're not allowed to have Kermit on the Muppets anymore, although he did appear as a guest at one time. But let's not get bogged down in all that now, because I seem to have filled up the last 7 minutes of the show successfully, so we can put it to bed now. It's time to put Wednesday's Into Your Head podcast to bed. Goodbye and good night, my podcast. I'll see you in the morning, presumably on my server. Hopefully, unless there's an internet outage overnight and your uploading gets interrupted. But don't worry, he'll be up in time for Wednesday. So nobody else except me has to worry about that. And frankly, I'm not all that worried. I've got another, at least another 53 hours to get this up and done, so plenty of time. No need for anybody to worry about that sort of thing. All we have to do here now is stop speaking, save this, put in anything that needs to be added, and then do all the other stuff, all the behind the scenes stuff, which is slowly leaking out to the front of the scenes, because the scene is too thin. The scenes are probably made out of tar macadam asphalt, and nobody's bothered to put any structure in them. Although that's perfectly okay if it's scenery background on the stage or something. You can have a road that's just made out of crap, because it's only meant as a backdrop. So let's not, just because it's bad for the architects to do that doesn't mean it's bad for people in theatre to do that, so don't get me wrong. Anyway, morning.
Sit, Rhodey, sit. Good cat.